Hey, Pastor Steve here for our midweek encouragement word. At Hope Chapel, part of my role is to help connect believers into a community of faith. That's small groups, discipleship groups, or life groups as we've called them, because we want to share life with one another as well as to take God's word and apply it to our life. Our motto at Hope Chapel is that when faith meets life, hope happens. And so these groups are not just social clubs, they're also not just Bible studies, because we want to take God's word and apply it to our life. And that's when we see true change, true hope happen in our life. It's important to be in a group with other believers. Solomon in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 says that two are better than one, because if one falls down, they'll have someone who can lift them up. Woe to the person who doesn't have anybody who can help them up when they fall. And a cord of three is not easily broken. It's important to have people in our lives to be able to help us in our time of need and for us to be able to help others when they fall down. Proverbs 27 verse 10 says, "Don't neglect or don't forget your friend or your father's friend." Later in the verse, it says, "Better is a neighbor than a brother far away." It's better to have someone close who you can rely upon than having to call upon someone who's not really close by. And my father helped me learn this lesson when I was in college. My car broke down. And so I called my dad, who's very good with cars, and my grandfather was a car mechanic his entire life. And so if anybody could help me, they could help me. But the thing is, I was about 6 hours away. And my dad says, it's really hard for me to help you know what's going on or how to fix it because I'm just not there. Is there anybody there that you can call and you can see if they can help you? And it really challenged my thoughts because I had been so busy in school, so busy at work, that had not really formed those kind of relationships on who to call, to who to help me out, and maybe they know somebody about where to go, even to get it fixed. And so it was important for me to understand that where I was, I needed to form these kind of close relationships. And that kind of principle has been with me as we've moved across the country here to New England to form those kind of relationships. And some of you have moved multiple times and you understand the importance of forming friendships as fast as possible. But we also know that that's not very easy all the time. But it is very important because we need somebody else in our life, those close relationships that we can rely on. Now, normally during this time of the year, we have life groups, 8 to 12 people in various homes in our region that meet throughout the week. And you can look at those and sign up for those. And it's a lot of work to find leaders, to recruit leaders, to find host homes and to network and get people connected into what group would fit well for them and on and so forth. And we would have people be able to sign up for those groups. And those groups are still in existence. You can find them on our website, hopechapelsterling.org. But as you can imagine, it's more and more difficult to identify leaders and to create those kind of networks during this time. And so for the past couple of years, I've been praying about changing that model, and God has given us the opportunity to do so at this time. I'd really like to see smaller groups form. And we have quite a few of those that are already happening unofficially, so to speak. People who are friends who get together and study God's word and share life with one another. And that's really my goal at this moment, is for 2 or 3 women, if you're a woman, or 2 or 3 men, if you're a man, or 2 or 3 couples getting together and sharing life with one another, as well as studying God's word and applying it to your life. And so you're going to see a lot of these things really happen through our men's and women's ministry, not so much the big grandiose events, but smaller things where we're encouraging men to get together or encouraging women to get together. You know, my Monday night life group is 14 adults and 20 kids. It's going to be hard for us to connect with one another. And so we'll do a hybrid of Zoom sometimes, as well as maybe the men getting together or just the women getting together, because 5 people getting together is going to be easier than trying to figure out how to get 14 people together, especially when we're perhaps asked not to. But so I'd encourage you to connect with a couple of people that you already know and say, hey, how about forming a group together? None of us are Bible scholars, so it's a perfect group to get together. And we want to provide you as many resources to help you succeed, not only with training and how to be a better leader, but also resources on how to lead Bible studies, as well as just Bible studies that you could go through, sermon-based studies that we can have, and so forth. So if you know somebody, and maybe you've been in a group for a long time, and it's time for you to launch out and to connect with other people and to kind of spur one another on. If you have a few people that you would want to connect and form a group with, would you just let me know, and I want to help you form those groups. If you really don't know anyone and you really like to connect to a group, then reach out to me and I'll help you find some people within your region, or maybe to connect with a group. I also lead a group on Sunday night currently through Zoom for anyone and everyone who would like to come. Or perhaps you're not a part of our Hope Chapel family. You're in another region, and I'd encourage you to connect with other believers within your area. Or if you don't know, connect with your local church. Reach out to the pastor there and say you'd really like to connect with other believers. What do we have? Is there people that you know that I can connect with? Or maybe you're not connected with a church at all. Or maybe you're just not sure about this relationship with God and Jesus and all of that. Well, I'd encourage you can reach out to me. I'd love to have those conversations with you. I'd love to help you find a local church that you can connect with, because again, a neighbor is better than a brother far away. I'd love to help you as much as possible, but we can find something local to where you are. That's even better. So those are hopefully some challenges for you, that if you're not in a group, that you would step out and to be a part of a group. I know many of you have been in a group, but there's some of you who have not been in a group before for whatever reason, and it's really important for you to connect with other believers. And so I really encourage you and challenge you to be a part of one. If you're in one and you've been in that group for a while, man, you have all the tools that you need to connect and to lead other people. And so I'd really challenge you to take that step of faith and to form a group. All right, well, I hope that's a challenge as well as encouragement for you and some understanding about what we are doing here at Hope Chapel. Well, God bless. We'll talk to you soon.